I think the last time that nearly everyone in this country, the United Kingdom, got excited about a new Prime Minister was Tony Blair back in 1997, was it? He was the first person I ever voted for. Little did we know the consequences of having him in as Prime Minister for nearly 10 years. Or was it 10 years? Who cares? The damage done we're still paying for now, and it's completely changed this country. But we were all excited. It was a big change. We had years and years of Tory sleaze. We had John Major in charge. How dear, I've ruined the economy. Yes, I know, that was another impression. I'm sorry. And people had had enough of them. They'd had enough. They'd had 10 years of Thatcher, then John Major for years after that. And this was nearly 20 years of one party being in charge. And it just went downhill. They'd been in there too long. And people were glad to have something different. It was all blue, then it was all red, Labour red, Tony Blair, Cherie Blair. It was all smiles and sunshine. And I remember his speech and the bit where he said, "A new day has dawned, has it not?" Yes, I know, another impression. I'm sorry, I just keep coming out with this shit. But you know what I'm saying. People were excited. It was change. It was positive. It was good. It was patriotic. And today we've had a new Prime Minister, Conservative Party leader elected by the Conservatives, not by the country, and it's Liz Truss, and nobody's excited. Though I am glad that she was picked over Rishi Sunak, as I am convinced nothing will dissuade me otherwise, that, you know, Rishi Sunak would have been a fucking nightmare, and he would have put this country into even more financial hardships like he promised he would. He was going to raise taxes, etc. You know, at a time like this, it's wrong. And it is also of great concern to myself, and it should be to you as well, if you are a Brexiteer, a committed Brexiteer like me, and you despise the European Union and everything that it stands for, that Liz Truss voted to remain in the 2016 referendum. Yes, that's right. The Tories, in their little vote, have voted in another Remainer Prime Minister, such as Theresa May. She was a Remainer, and we all know how that ended. But I'm not excited about this new Prime Minister. In fact, I haven't been since Tony Blair, to my shame, because Liz Truss has nothing to offer. She's not a leader. She isn't a Member of Parliament who has broken the mould, and she does come across as quite naive and thick. Now, I'm not the brain of Britain, but, you know, you look and listen to her, and she doesn't know what she's doing or where she is half the time. You know, she's like that boy or girl in your class back in the day who didn't give a fuck and didn't really try and yet got places. Everything was handed to them on a plate. That's Liz Truss. And she hasn't really promised anything. All she said is she'll look into it. But her first task, I believe, for the good of the nation and for the people, is to come down hard on these energy companies to make them reduce their prices and make them affordable. She has that power. She can actually do something about this. But let's not forget, folks, Liz Truss started off her political career as a Liberal Democrat. She was anti-monarchy. She was staunchly anti-Tory. She wasn't very patriotic. She was your typical green, insufferable lefty, as all Liberal Democrats are. However, and saying that, so was Winston Churchill. But remember, the Lib Dems, the Liberal Democrat Party, wasn't the same as it is today. So back then, the Liberal Democrats weren't all unaccountably wealthy, hairy hipsters with man buns, all wearing corduroy, and were all for this climate change nonsense and pro-European. MPs back then were a different breed. So there we go. Liz Truss is the third female Prime Minister this country's ever had, which puts Labour to shame, really, because Labour are meant to be the woke progressive party. Shouldn't they have, like, box tickers as their leaders and put them forward as the next leader of the country and be the party of the people? Of course not. They got Sir Keir Starmer, a upper middle class wealthy knight of the realm who is a former barrister, QC, Queen's Counsel. So man of the people, he isn't. So there we go. It'd be interesting to see which direction Liz Truss takes the country, how well she does or how badly. But between you and I have absolutely no faith in any of them. And that's quite telling, isn't it? And there we go. That's my video. Hope you like. What do you think? Liz Truss, will she be a good Prime Minister or won't she? Or is she enough to make you vote for another party come the next general election? Please let me know your thoughts on the issue in the comments below. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. So until the next time, I hope you have a great afternoon, evening. Take care of yourselves, and Roger Trout.